What up, what up, what up? What's going on, guys? Welcome to SlangCast Live. Let me make sure everything is good to go on my end. I hope everyone is having a good Friday. Today is iPhone day. iPhone 12 is available, iPhone 12 Pro. We're going to bring Lou from Flip the Script Gaming right in. We're going to talk a little tech tonight, hang out a little bit, chill a little bit. I don't know how long we're going to be here tonight, but we're going to have some fun, just talk some tech like we always do. Flip the Script Gaming. What up, Lou?
Jeff, what's up, buddy? Friday night, another week, and excited to see what we're going to talk about tonight.
It's been a long week, man. It's been a very, very, very long week. I am tired, but we're here. We're going to hang out for a little bit, chill, talk about the iPhone 12. We're going to talk about not just the iPhone 12, we're going to talk about a couple phones, actually, because I have been using a different phone this week. And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised at the phone that I've been using as my daily driver. But it is what it is, man. We're just going to hang out a little bit, talk on a Friday night. I'm a little tired, so I don't know how long we're going to be here for.
Well, let's see who comes in. Let's see who engages, and let's have some fun while we're at it.
Yeah, so if you're new here, guys, welcome. Welcome to SlangCast. Every Friday night, we do live streams here talking about tech, latest news. Just hang out, chill for a little bit. We're going to take some phone calls a little later on in the stream. And if you're here, just drop a comment so we know you are here hanging out. Digital Slang is my main channel. You can find me there most of the time on Twitter, on Instagram. You can find Lou from Flip the Script Gaming over there as well. On YouTube, on Twitter.
Absolutely. Flip the Script Gaming on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. And Jeff, I'm going to throw this in before we even get to it. 5-0. All right. See that right there, cuz? 5-0.
Hold on, the Steelers are 5-0?
5-0. Okay. And we're going to play Tennessee, who is also 5-0, and be 6-0.
That doesn't mean anything.
All right. How
That
about
doesn't
that?
mean anything.
How about that Daniel Jones run last night?
Daniel Jones is trash. He's garbage. Not only did he fell running to the end zone, he just fell. And then he fumbled at the end of the game.
Yeah, he always fumbles.
Every time he gets hit, he fumbles.
I know, and I just don't get it because honestly, the dude has talent. He does have talent, but I don't know. I don't know if he has the. I don't know if he can become that leader behind the line. You know, he can run. He's had the longest run of a quarterback since like 2015. The dude can run.
He fell flat on his face.
Flat on his face, and the memes are going crazy.
Surprised he didn't fumble.
But I tell you what, at 5 minutes left in the game, I was sitting there. I'm like, all right, Giants scored again. You know what? They got this in the bag. All right, I'm going to go to bed.
You know, when I turned the game on, at 5 minutes left in the game. Yeah. I didn't see any of the game at all. And then I turned it on at 5 minutes left. And as soon as I turned it on, the Eagles score. Eagles score again. The Giants fumble. And that was my football night.
That was sad. So sad. I feel bad for the Giants.
I feel like I did it. Like if I didn't turn the game on to watch it, they would have won. Like,
the jinx. Jinx, that's funny.
I need the Giants to lose. We'll get to talk in a minute, but I need the Giants to lose the rest of the games all year long. We need the number one pick, man. We need Trevor Lawrence from Clemson.
Yeah, well, you had the running back, and, you know, look what happened there.
Well, that's nothing. Injuries are injuries. That's going to happen. You still need talent.
Yeah, you need a line.
Our line's not bad. They had 150, 160 yards rushing yesterday.
Well, yeah.
You need a quarterback that doesn't fumble, and you need a defense that can stop one person.
One person, yeah, exactly. And Antonio Brown going to the Bucs today is huge.
We'll mess that up.
Yeah, I know. He'll play for a week and then he'll
He'll get
quit.
caught doing drugs, or he'll practice, or he'll mess that up. He'll beat somebody. Like, dude, he doesn't deserve another. He doesn't deserve another chance. He's
I
had
know it's a little bit of a. He is a. I don't know what happened to the guy. It's not CTE. I think it's just his ego got to him.
he's
But
a
I mean, that's my opinion.
he's a scumbag.
Yeah, he's something else.
And see, Jeffrey says he has no protection. Yeah, well,
Yeah, I
still
guess
got to
he
hold on to
doesn't.
the ball.
But yeah, and that's the thing too. You have no protection, but you can't hold on to the ball.
You
You
can't sit in the
fumbles.
pocket for 10 seconds and expect not to get hit.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's his reaction time and getting the ball to the receiver or whatever is just not there.
They
I'm
suck.
good. All right. Let's
They
let's
suck.
talk about this iPhone, man. I'm kind of curious.
The iPhone 12, I did pick up the iPhone 12 in blue, this color right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just called blue, no other name to it. Blue.
Just blue. That's it. I mean, it kind of looks like a midnight blue.
It's not, though. It's more of a fucking toy child blue. That's what it
Ew.
is. It's
Ew.
stupid. It's terrible. I
Hmm.
hate it. I hate the color. I hate it. It angers me.
Yeah. And you just hate looking at it?
I hate looking at it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's horrible, man. That's harsh.
I don't like because there's a distinct contrast between the color on the. You probably can't see it here, but
Mhm.
yeah, you can a little bit. The color of the actual glass around the lenses, like the
Okay.
square camera bump,
Hmm.
compared to the color of the actual phone. So
It's not
they're
the same
different
color?
shades. No, they're different shades of blue, and I get
Ooh.
it, but it doesn't look good in my opinion. This is probably look any of the iPhone 12 colors this year. I think they're terrible. Now the iPhone 12 Pro, that's different. The
Mhm.
iPhone 12 Pro has different colors, and those look good. It's got the matte finish. It's got a different shade of blue. It's got a really nice gold this year. But the regular iPhone 12 colors, I think, are terrible. The product red, it's
Mhm.
not even look, product red phones have been out for a while, and
Mhm.
it's usually that deep candy apple red.
Right.
This year, it's like a orange slash coral mix.
Ew.
It doesn't
What
look
were,
good.
what were they thinking? They're trying to go fluorescent or something?
I don't know what they're thinking with the colors this year, but they didn't do that with the like the iPads were just released too, and the iPad Air, the new one that looks like the iPad Pro, those colors are all like light pastel-y colors, and those
Okay.
look really good.
Hmm.
Like those are the colors we should have gotten on the iPhone 12.
Damn, why would they just I don't know. Like why would they change it up like that?
Now, saying all that, the rest of this phone I
Mhm.
think is fantastic.
Yeah.
The build quality on here
Mhm.
and the squared off edges, the new form factor, like it's going back to like the iPhone 4 and 5. Like you could just sit this thing on a table and it's just going to stand there.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
it feels really good in the hand. It feels premium, and this isn't even the premium phone. That's the Pro. This is made of glass and aluminum. The Pros are made of stainless steel and glass.
Now that screen is OLED, right?
Yeah, every screen this year, it's different from last year's phones or any previous phone in the iPhone lineup. Every screen, all four of them have OLED panels. So,
OLED panels are nice, man.
yeah, you get those true colors, you get the true dark blacks, like
Mhm.
brighter. It just looks it's a much nicer screen. The iPhone 11 was an LCD screen. The iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max of last year had OLED.
Hmm.
But the iPhone 11 and all previous iPhones, for the most part, had LCDs, but not their Pro models. Like the Pro had an OLED, the 10s and the 10s Max from a year ago or 2
Right.
years ago. But every phone now has it, and it's worth it. It's good. It's a good upgrade. Finally, yeah. Overall, I really like the design. I really like the phone itself. It's a
But that
monster. It's a beast. The
but I
A14 chip is amazing.
I could tell you that color is really bothering you.
I'm sending it back, dude.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm not keeping it. I don't like the color.
Hmm.
I'm going to send it back and I'm going to order the Pro Max in that shade of blue. It's called Pacific Blue.
Okay. All
And
right.
it's a lighter blue. It's got a matte finish, kind of like the matte finish that's on the back of here. The 11
Okay.
Pro Max. So that color looks really good. And actually, the gold, all of the colors on the Pro models look great this year. And I wish I would have done that from the start because I like the size of this phone. This is the same size as your phone.
Okay.
So I like the size. I think it's a perfect size. And I told you earlier, it's the same size screen, but it's actually thinner, lighter, and not as thick as the iPhone 11. It's a much smaller phone, but it has the same size panel, same size screen on it.
It looks like a nice screen. That OLED looks nice.
It's a good phone. This thing's a monster. A14 is a beast. But I don't even think I'm going to throw my SIM card in it because I'm just going to send it back. Come Monday, I'm just sending it back.
Send it back. Get the one that you want. And that way you can give the full review like you want to do. Feel comfortable with it. Because listen, if you do a full review now, that color is going to hold you back.
I could do the full review, but to do a full review on a phone, I need a good week or two with it. Like I can't do a full review after a couple of days.
Right.
But
No, send it in.
I'm
Send
not
it
going to
back.
keep this phone for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no. Send it back. Get the one that you.
The Pro Max doesn't come out until I think November 10th is when they're going to be shipped.
Okay.
So it's a couple of weeks away still.
I mean, a couple of weeks isn't bad. What, 2.5 weeks? Not bad. I mean, to get what you want.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely getting the Pro Max, and that will be my daily driver. But the phone I'm using until then is this guy right here.
Ooh, what is that?
You can't tell in the screen, but it's green. The color is green.
It's green. It looks gray.
No, it's green. It's like I guess you can say it's a grayish green. It's like a mint green with a shade of gray in it.
Okay.
Kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It looks good though. I dig it.
What kind of phone is it?
So this is the phone that we've talked about in the stream before. We've talked about it. At least I've talked about it. And I wasn't sure why it ever existed. All right. This is the Note 20. I've been using the Note 20 Ultra, right?
I saw that review you did.
Yeah, the Note 20 Ultra has been my daily driver for the most part. I go back and forth now between so many phones, but the Note 20 Ultra, this is like the baby brother for the Note 20 Ultra. It's just the Note 20. It's the plastic phone. This is the plastic $1,000 phone that I've talked about, that I've hated on. I've hated on it. Plastic $1,000 phone. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that the Note 20 Ultra has, but it does have a lot of the same features, just dumbed down a little bit. Now, the display on here, it's a flat display. The curved edges on the Note 20 Ultra bother the hell out of me. This phone, the reason I wanted to get this phone, it's not because of the Note 20 Ultra. It's because of that. Remember that red phone I was using, the Cloud Red?
Yes.
The Galaxy S20 Fan Edition?
Yes.
So I've been using that, and I love that phone. I think it's amazing. Right? It's a great phone for $699. And it's very similar to this phone here. This phone here is a little bigger display, but both of them are plastic builds. Both of them have a flat panel, running the same operating system, well, this one has a slightly better chip, but I mean slightly better processor. Like this is the 865 Plus, and the other phone is the 865. So they're basically neck and neck. But I wanted to try this out because of that phone. Now, again, I've said before, I would never pay $1,000 for this phone, and I didn't. I traded in a phone, and I was able to get this phone for a little over $400. So at that price, I thought, why the hell not? I'll try it out if I can get it for around $450.
Right.
And let me tell you, I love this phone. It's heavier than the S20 Fan Edition, so it feels a little more premium just because of the weight of it. It's got the S Pen, right? The stylus. This guy right here.
Okay.
so you can write on it. And when you write on it, it's just a fun experience. It feels like you're writing on some kind of paper or something.
Okay.
Takes
Okay.
great cameras, just like all the other phones.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can get it for this phone should have been priced at $699 or $750. Now they couldn't price it at $699 because it would take away from the S20 FE, which these phones were launched about a month apart.
So where do you think this phone really, since that phone is priced that much,
I think
where do you think this should have fit?
the sweet spot for this should have been 750.
750. Okay.
Yeah, it's way overpriced at $1,000. Like I tell you right now, nobody is buying this phone.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because it's a good phone. Now the Note 20 Ultra, of course, is still a much better phone. But this, I'm enjoying this. My SIM card has been in it since I got it last week. And it's going to continue. I'm going to continue using it. I'm not taking it out and putting it in the iPhone.
Okay.
I'm even thinking about selling my Note 20 Ultra because I know I'm going to be using this phone.
And well, okay. Do you like the Note 20 Ultra more than that phone?
I do, except for the curved edges on the Note 20 Ultra. The Note 20 Ultra has curved edges. I hate curved edges.
I know you do. Now, is it that much of an issue that you would get rid of that phone for that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
You see, you guys don't know, like you have an iPhone, so that's a flat display.
Right.
Curved edges look better. They feel better holding it.
Uh-huh.
But accidental touches, man. Every time I try and you know how you use your phone with one hand and you just like
Yeah.
looking at it, and you got to reach up to maybe grab an app or reach over if you're typing something. You try and
Yep.
reach up a little bit. Every time you reach, the bottom part of your thumb touches that curved edge, and whatever is there, it hits it and pushes it.
Yeah, that sucks.
And it happens all the time. So every time I use that phone and I want to text somebody or something, I have to use two hands.
Either that or you have to kind of cuff it with an open hand.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's annoying. You don't get that on a flat display. You don't get that on an iPhone, and you don't get this on this phone here, the Note 20, just the plain Note 20 or the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. You don't get it on those phones.
Mm-hmm.
Flat displays are, for me, they feel better. I don't know. They're just better overall, in my opinion. A lot of people don't like them. A lot of people think that the curved displays are the way to go. That's more premium. And in a way, it is. It costs more to make those, but I don't like them.
Now, do you think when you get your new iPhone, will that replace that?
Probably. I'll probably put my SIM back into Pro Max for a while.
Yeah.
Probably. I can see that, but I'll go back and forth. Like I used to be Team Apple, right? No matter what phone I tried out, after a week, my SIM would be back in my iPhone.
Right.
That's not the case anymore.
That's interesting. Yeah, I know. I've seen you sway towards the other models and other brands.
The phones on the Android side have improved so much. Right? iPhones used to be like here. Android phones used to be like here.
Right.
Now that table has shifted, where the innovation and the nicer products are Samsung phones. Not just Samsung phones, Android phones.
Yes.
Because you have Samsung and all their models, the Notes, the S20 Fan Edition, the S20, all of those phones. You got the Fold 2. You got the Galaxy Z Flip, that other folding phone. But then you got Google's phones. You got the Pixel 5, the Pixel 4a.
Yeah, Android has so many models that it's like, it's...
You have options.
Yeah, you have a lot of options. And even though the iPhone is like here, you have so many Android phones that go above and under that. Like, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. It's just, what do you prefer? Like, people get stuck into the Apple ecosystem. And that's one of the reasons why it took me so long to get out of the Apple ecosystem, because I was so entrenched in it. Like iMessage and FaceTime and everything is just made so simple on the iPhone.
I'm telling you, I still want to try that OnePlus.
You got to get one, bro.
I know.
You can get a used one for cheap.
I may tell the wife to give me one for Christmas.
You should get a OnePlus 7 Pro. It's an older phone, but
Mhm.
it's amazing. It's a
Yeah.
great phone. The whole screen, it's an all screen phone, like no hole punch, no notch. The whole front is a screen and it looks amazing.
Yeah. I might get one for Christmas.
I had it. I did a video on it, but I sold it I probably sold it now 6 months ago.
Okay.
And the camera, that's the one where the camera is electronic and it pops up.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
pops out
Yeah.
of the top.
Hmm.
And that's how they did the all screen display because the camera popped up and then hit itself once it went away.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wish they would have kept it. They didn't keep it though. On like the OnePlus 8, the newer OnePlus phones, they went back to the hole punch like all the other Android phones have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the iPhone 12, the 12 and the 12 Pro
Mm-hmm.
are available right now. You can buy them. You can go to the Apple Store and pick it up. The 12 Pro, both of them are the same size. 12 Pro is more expensive. 12 Pro has a better camera, just one more camera lens, right? That has three lenses. The 12 has two lenses. The only difference is a telephoto lens. They both have the ultra wide and the wide. They both have the same internals, same processor, the A14 chip. So there's not much difference except for the colors and the one lens because they're exactly the same size phone.
Now, is the Mini out now, or does that come out later?
That comes out when the Pro Max comes out in November.
Okay.
Why you want the mini?
No, but I mean, it looks cool. It's like it's something new.
If the mini was released like now, I
Yeah.
would have gotten that instead of this.
Right. I figured you would.
Because I wanted to get a phone now and I wanted to get one at the next release date too, but the mini was more intriguing. But now that the mini is being released at the same time as the 11 Pro or the 12 Pro Max, I can't get both.
No, do you see yourself getting the Mini down the line just to take a look at it? Because I mean, how much is it? Like 450, something like that.
$700.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, oof.
It's the same phone. It's got all the same internals, all the high-end camera specs, everything. It's just smaller.
Hmm.
No,
Interesting.
I won't be buying it. I won't.
No,
Nah.
no, we won't see digital slang adventures,
You will not see a video on the iPhone mini on my channel.
adventures in digital slang. None. No video
Unfortunately not.
blog.
I don't have unlimited funds like that.
No midnight pickups.
Well, that depends. If I can get it used in 6 months for like $100, $200, then yeah, midnight
Right.
drive it will be.
All right.
Or if I can trade, I like trading phones too. A lot of people trade phones. Like
Yeah.
if you just Google, if you go on Facebook Marketplace and Google like iPhone trade,
Mhm.
somebody's always trying to trade an iPhone for an Android phone or vice versa. So I can go on and trade. Like I can go on right now and trade this phone for a top of the line Android phone if I wanted to.
Hmm.
Because people always try out different things and end up hating it and go back to like if you're an iPhone user. So if you wanted to try an Android phone out, you would try it out, you'd buy one, try it out, and then if you hated it, you go trade your phone on Facebook Marketplace and go back to iOS.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a one plus and try it out because I never had an Android, so if I'm gonna try an Android, it's gonna be that because it just I don't know something about that I'm just gravitated towards it.
About OnePlus,
Yeah,
what is it?
I don't know if it's the full front display. Um,
Well, all Android phones have that now.
I know, but it's just like it's something different other than a Samsung. It's something different, and for some reason, it looks kind of cool to me.
You should try Pixel.
I don't want a Pixel. It sounds all fairy like.
A Pixel is going to get you closer to an iPhone experience.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know the Pixel 4a, for the 5a, but I don't know. I'm not big on those. For some reason, I'm not. I feel like that's the the little sister of phones for some reason. I don't know, and that's just me. I don't know. Like there's so many Samsung and Android phones, but that One Plus is the one that's sticking out for me.
The One Plus.
The One Plus. I don't know. Maybe it's the on the back how it says One Plus on the back has a one with the plus sign. I don't know. That kind of like is simple, cool, looks. I don't know. Gravitates towards me. I don't know.
You're weird.
A little bit.
No, One Plus are good phones. You would like it, but you got to get one.
Yeah, I'm going to. I think I'm going to.
I'll sell you this.
What is it? Oh, the 12
Yeah.
and that Mystic Blue.
Well, it's not Mystic.
Uh,
It's blue. Definitely a shade of blue. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. A fingerprint magnet too. Your fingerprint all over it, and I've barely touched it.
That old 80s Kumo D blue.
It does have 80s vibe for the blue.
It does have an 80s vibe, yeah.
All the colors do though. Like the coral red. It's not product red. That shit ain't product red. It's like a coral red. It's bad.
Yeah,
terrible.
I've seen somebody on Twitter say they didn't like the red. Neither.
It's terrible. It's like a coral / orange. It's no good.
Yeah,
not as much as I hate the blue. The blue is terrible. The blue's going back. Mr. Tech Grant, what's going on? Trenton, how are you, brother?
What's up, dude?
Happy night.
Yeah, and I know how you feel about your Reds. So
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. The Reds got to go. The blues got to go. All the iPhone 12 colors, I'm just not a fan of. Now, again, the 12 Pro colors are legit. I like those.
Right.
12, not a fan.
Not a fan.
So I did drop an unboxing video of the 12 today, and it's just an unboxing video. It's nothing special, so you guys can check that out on Digital Slang. But if you don't know, if you're just coming in, the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro are available. Most people have them now if they pre-ordered. My iPhone 12 is going back. I'm sending it back. I hate the blue. If you haven't noticed, that's all I've been talking about. I just hate the damn blue. Black is black. Yes. Trent, did you get one? Did you get an iPhone 12? Because I hate the blue. The blue's out of here. Come Monday, the blue is out of here.
Quick, fast, like flash, huh?
On, and I will be pre-ordering or ordering the Pro Max. Now, I'm not sure if I want to get the Pro Max in blue. I said blue earlier, but I keep going back and forth between the blue and the space gray. It's not called space gray. I forget the name of it this year, but it looks like space gray.
Okay.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Lance, what's up, buddy? Like the Mac type space gray.
Well, it looks like all the other space grays. I forget the name of it this year, though. Oh, he did get it.
He did get it.
You got the black color then. Okay. I should have gone with black or white because those are the only iPhone 12 colors that I think look any good. The rest of them are trash.
The black is just regular black, right?
Yeah, but it's a deep black.
Okay.
Yeah, the base model. That's the way to go, man. It's a good deal. The base model is good. How do you like the feel of it? I think it feels amazing in the hand, though. I love how it feels. I love the build quality of it. It's very light, very small. You can use it with one hand very easy. So I'm really feeling the redesign going back to the old iPhone 4, 4S, and 5.
More of the square feel, right?
I love that feel. I love it. I think it feels fantastic holding it, but I just can't get over the color, man. Can't do it. I have to like what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah, you really do. And especially if that's the phone you're going to be looking at. Like, seriously, if you pull your phone out of your pocket and you don't like the color of it, that's the first thing you see.
I mean, most likely I'm going to throw a case on it, but at the same time, I want to enjoy what I'm looking at, especially if I'm spending $700. In this case, it was $800. So if I'm spending that type of money, I at least want to look and be.
Jeff, it doesn't matter, man. You could throw a case on it. You know that color is underneath it.
Well, even with a case, I'm going to see the color, at least a shade of the color through the camera bump.
Right.
So it's going to piss me off every time I look at it.
It's there, no matter what.
So Mr. Tech Rant says the Pro is called graphite. That's it, graphite.
Okay.
And it does look nice. I do like the look of that color. So I'm torn between that and the other blue for the Pro model. The Pacific Blue. I think it's called Pacific Blue.
Pacific Blue.
But I will say this, as much as I love the new iPhones, right? I'm not, there are some problems here with the iPhones. Like you were talking about the charging brick, right? Not having a charging brick in the phone. A lot of people are pissed off about it. A lot of people don't care. I think it's a little crazy that they didn't put it in this year because unless you bought an iPhone 11 or an 11 Pro, you're assed out, man.
I think I just think the only reason I think they should have included it is because of all the different models they have, and especially introducing the iPhone Mini. Because the iPhone Mini, I'm sure, will attract a lot of new people to try out an iPhone. So it's kind of like, all right,
the iPhone Mini is still expensive.
It is. But at the same time, it's a new type of model. Like, I don't know. I mean, listen, how much are they paying for the bricks? I mean, they're buying 5, 10, 20 million of them. What are you buying them for, a penny a piece? What's that going to cost? A penny to make the cutout in the box? I mean, listen, a lot of people, the only place I don't use the brick is at work. That's it.
I don't use the brick at all. I have wireless chargers everywhere, but that's still not the point. Like having no brick, we've talked about this in the past. If you are a new iPhone user, right? Say somebody's buying an iPhone for the first time and they're not really into tech anyway, just to begin with, but they need a phone. So they go and choose Apple. They go buy a phone, an iPhone 12. They take it home. They can't charge their phone.
Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, I need to find a USB port to plug this into.
Even if they have the charging brick at home, it's not going to work on the wire that comes in the phone this year. It's USB Type-C to Lightning. Nobody's going to have a charging brick for that cable.
Really? So that's not really? So it's different? It's not the same?
Unless you have an iPhone 11 from last year.
Right.
Any previous year before that, it's a different brick.
Yeah, that's. Do you think they're making the jump of no brick too fast?
Hell yeah, they are. Absolutely. They should have kept it in for another year or two. They're heading towards a portless phone. We all know that. Right. MagSafe is here now, but they should have at least waited and included it still. There is enough space to add the brick in that tiny box. You're right. There is enough space.
Yeah. I mean, there is. And I mean, it should have been included. I can see what they're trying to do, and they're trying to eliminate the cost and the future of the wireless charging and everything, but it should have been in there.
No, what they did wrong is the way they went about it. Because they went and said, if you watch the keynote, the lady was standing on top of the spaceship, on top of the Apple building. She was standing literally on top of the roof, talking about the environment. There was a nice video of her on top with the trees in the background, talking about how they're doing this for environmental reasons to help out the world. It was all BS, man. You're doing it to save a buck, and then you're doing it to save a buck and saying we're not giving you the charging brick in the box, but at the same time they're doing that, they're releasing the MagSafe charger and telling you to buy that.
Right.
So they're taking a charger away and at the same time introducing a new product that's a charger. It's a charger.
It's a charger. It's a charger.
So stop bullshitting us and saying you're doing it to help the environment because you're just giving us a different one that's more expensive.
Right.
And you're taking it out of the box so people have to buy that.
Yeah.
I just wish they would have been honest about it and just been like, look, we're moving. In the future, we're going to move to portless iPhones. There's not going to be, everything's going to be wireless. So we're starting the process now. I would have had a little more respect for that.
Right. Right.
But when you take something away and then give us something like the MagSafe, which is a charger
Mm-hmm.
that is $40,
Mm-hmm.
people are going to have to buy something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Or they're going to go on and they can buy the fast charger on Apple's website too, but I'm sure that's still, the hell is it, man? What the hell is that 18-watt charger on Apple's website? It's got to be like $25.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is, and it
And Mr.
depends
Techran
on the
says that
length.
the MagSafe charger doesn't have a brick either. So even if you buy the $40 MagSafe, you still have to go buy a brick.
You still have to go buy a brick. Wow.
It's crazy.
And I was listening to Gabriel T. Black. If you don't know him, check out his YouTube, check out his Twitter. He's great. And he was saying a little something like, go to the Apple store and spend the 25 bucks on the brick. Don't use the ones from the corner stores that you're paying $2. And I'm thinking in my head like, damn, I mean, I went there not too long ago and I bought like 3 or 4 of those chumpies.
I would agree with him on that. I bought one of those little cheap ones from like CVS.
Uh-huh.
And I caught it right before it caught on fire. Like it was smoking.
Really?
Yeah, it was in the, you know how you just leave them in? You just leave them plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you forget about them for the most part.
Yeah.
And this was years ago. I'm talking 7, 8 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I left it plugged in and I smelled something burning. And I went and walked around the house and looked. And it was that little cheap piece of crap 5-watt fake charger that was smoking in the outlet.
Wow. And I went and bought like 3 or 4 of those things.
Yeah, don't leave them plugged in if you use them. And now, and to this day, ever since that moment, to this day, before I go to work every morning at 5:30 in the morning, I go around and I make sure there's no chargers plugged in.
Wow.
I do it every morning because now I'm like freaked out about it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Apple is just trying to make more profits. That's all. Yeah, I mean, they are, and they're going to do it. People are going to buy it.
Yeah, they are.
Look, they know what they're doing. That's why they made $1 trillion.
I'm amazed that none of the cables come with bricks, and you have to buy separate.
I'm not amazed by it. Hey, Tran, I sent you an invite if you want to jump in. If not, no worries. We're just hanging out, BSing. Yeah, Gabriel T. Black, though, he is.
I love his videos and I love his Spotify's. They're really good. Got to go check them out.
Preston, what's going on, man? How are you? I'm back to enjoy the stream once again. Thank you for watching. And for those of you that are listening on audio only, happy Friday night. Welcome to SlangCast. Every Friday night, we're just here BSing, hanging out, talking tech. Tonight, we're talking about the iPhone 12, 12 Pro, and my new daily driver, the Note 20, the plastic Note 20. I am using the plastic Note 20 as my everyday phone right now, and I got to be honest with you guys, I love it. I love it.
You sounded a little disgruntled in that video because you were like, I don't know where it falls in.
It's crazy. I don't know. I still don't know where it falls in. Like,
right.
It's just.
But at this point, it's like you have it, you're using it. Who cares? You like it.
Yeah. So we got Mr. Tech Rant joining us tonight. Trenton,
what's up,
man?
Not much, man. Just chilling.
How are you?
Doing pretty good. It's a Friday.
Yeah, Friday night.
So, yeah, I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I went out and got the 12.
So what do you think?
The black one, huh?
Yeah, because I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I really don't want to talk about a phone unless I got it, and I could probably do some good with it, to show off to some other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, let me just get the, base model, not spend too much money, nothing crazy like that. And then I went ahead and picked it up.
What do you think?
It's not bad. Like, it's not like where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I spent X amount of dollars on it. But it's not amazing either. Like when you first get it, you're like, oh yeah, it's got flat edges, it's got 5G, it's got a nice screen. But after a while, it's an iPhone. It just seems like another iPhone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's an iPhone. It's just a redesigned iPhone that is a little nicer to hold, a little faster, a little better camera. I wish I would have gotten the black or white. I hate the blue. I hate it. I'm going to keep saying it. I hate it.
Get rid of it.
I might make another video on how much I hate the blue tomorrow.
I think you should, but just make it audio only. I want to listen to it while I'm driving to work in the morning.
So here's the other thing I looked at, right? As far as videos today, all I saw were blue iPhones.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna make a video, I'm not gonna get another blue iPhone because everybody got blue iPhones. And what I really haven't seen is I haven't seen many videos with the white or the black.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I already had a white iPhone before, but I never really had a black one on YouTube. Like the last black one I had was the 7 that was like jet black.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll get the black one, and went to T-Mobile. They had the black case. So I just went ahead and just bought everything, and it just said, all right, let's go.
You dropping a video tomorrow?
Yeah. So it's more so just going to be the first impressions of what I think of it, why I went with what I went with. And that's really about it. I'm not going to do anything too crazy with it. I'm mainly going to be putting it up against the Pixel.
Oh, nice.
Pixel 5 versus, iPhone 12, base model, $829 versus $699, pros, cons, stuff like that.
I am interested in seeing how the cameras compare between the Pixel 5 and this iPhone.
Yeah, and the thing that I find really weird is like, so with the Pro, they're talking about having that LiDAR sensor to have, better portrait mode and have better night mode. And I'm like, that's all fine and dandy, but the Pixel's doing it without that LiDAR. So
yeah.
Is the 11 gonna suck, or is it gonna be like not as good? And I'm like, how is Google doing this without the extra stuff in it?
Yeah, it's all software with Google.
Yeah.
I saw some camera comparisons today. If you go on Twitter, you'll find them everywhere. But I watched a bunch of videos from some of the bigger guys on YouTube who already have had their phones for a while. So they have a lot of camera comparisons up already. And the cameras look good. And I watched one today, and it was an iPhone 11. I think it was John Rettinger, and it was an iPhone 11 from last year against the iPhone 12. And he didn't tell you which camera took which pictures. And in a lot of them, I guessed wrong. Like I was picking the iPhone 11 camera from last year. I thought they looked better, in my opinion.
Right. And what's crazy about all of it is it's like, what did he compare the pros, or was it just an 11 to a 12?
It was the which was it? I think it was the pros. It was the 11 Pro and the 12 Pro.
So there's an interesting thing about the pros, because the pros are supposed to have, larger sensors in them.
Well, the Pro Max does, not the Pro.
What's that?
Only the Pro Max does.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Pro Max has a bigger sensor than the Pro.
Ah. Well, so much for that idea.
Yeah, they changed it up this year. The Pro Max has the better camera out of all the phones this year.
I looked at like a mock-up of a Pro Max, and I thought I was gonna like how the size was, but the thing with Apple is they always make their phones like they make them more wider than they make them taller. So it's kind of like a weird fit. Like
it is. I have the dummy model of the Pro Max here, and I guess I'm just used to it because I've been using the Note 20 Ultra or like the Fold 2. I mean, the Fold 2 is a lot thinner, like width-wise, but when you open it up, it's a giant phone.
Yeah.
So I think this iPhone 12 that I'm holding now, it doesn't feel big at all. It feels small to me.
Like I don't know what it is, but the 6.1 feels like it's like the perfect compromise. Like,
yeah,
it's not ridiculously large, but it's not, as small as like the Pixel 4a.
Yeah, the Pixel 4a is a little too small. But you're right. The 6.1 inch does feel like the perfect size for one-handed use. Like it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's smaller and thinner and lighter than last year's iPhone 11. So that's where they go with their innovation, right? They change the build quality, they change the design of it, and they give you thinner bezels, they make it a little smaller, a little lighter, a little thinner. I just wish they would do more and get rid of that damn notch.
Man, people gonna,
Do you think
they're gonna
next
lose
year
their
will be the
minds when they
year?
do that.
Yeah. The
Oh
teen
my
says,
God, they finally got rid of the notch.
yeah,
Samsung's like, yeah, we kind of got rid of that like a long time ago.
7 years ago by the time Apple does it.
Like Apple, do they really need to do anything innovative? Like if they just got rid of the notch, that would be a talking point of the whole series of that year of the phone.
If
Absolutely.
Apple takes their phone that they made this year, and they kind of do this every year now, they always take last year's model and drop it by $100, and then it's just like a firestorm. It's like, oh my God, now you can get it for $500.
Yeah.
I mean,
things.
I talked about it too because I was just like, hey, if you're gonna go out and get a phone, don't get a 12. Go get you an 11.
11 is a better value in my opinion right now. And the teen says, do you think I should go with the iPhone 11 or 12? The 11 is a better value. It really depends on your budget, though. If you have the budget and money is no object, then get the 12. But
so
if you're on a tighter budget, get the 11.
This is what I'll say, right? If you're trying to choose like between the 11, right? Like, do you want an 11 or do you want a 12? I would rephrase it this way. It's like, all right, I would say if you wanted an 11 Pro from last year, but you wanted a new phone this year and you didn't care about the stainless steel, you didn't care about the extra lens, technically the iPhone 12, the base model, is essentially an 11 Pro from last year with flat edges.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You're getting the same amount of RAM that came in the 11 Pro last year, which was like 4 gigs. You're getting a processor that's a little better. You're getting the same screen. I mean, like that same high resolution screen that was on the 11 Pro.
Yeah,
and the 11 Pro last year was $1,000.
Yeah, 11 Pro is a beast. That thing is going to get updates for the next 4 years minimum. It's going to run really well for years to come, man. The 11 Pro and the 11 are still good phones, and they will be for a long time. Preston says, one thing I don't like about the MagSafe charger is when it sticks to your phone when you go to pick it up. So it's more of a two-handed experience. Now, I don't have the MagSafe. Trenton, you have it, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, he's right. Like, I had did a video about that, and I was like, I was pretty fair with it. Like, I don't think I like killed it or anything. I was just like, look, you're giving me MagSafe, but it's so light and the magnet is so strong that when you go pick up your phone, the phone doesn't just come off it. Like, you got to hold it down. Now, I know Lou from Unbox Therapy was like, oh, yeah, you can just get a little Velcro and, attach it to the table. And I'm like,
why have to go through that?
That's a little janky, man.
Like, yeah.
It's a little extra.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you're already paying $40 for this, charger.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to pay another $20 if you get the brick, or let's say you pay $10, on Amazon. That's $50, and you're talking about putting Velcro on it. Like,
yeah, now you got to pay the $3.99 for the Velcro.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the MagSafe at all. Like, I'll stick with my wireless chargers. I have wireless chargers set up pretty much everywhere around the house. I have a couple cord, like the 11 Pro cable from last year, the 10S Max cable from the year before. I don't see the point in MagSafe right now. I think I don't know. I just think they dropped it a little early.
Well, it makes sense that they dropped it early business wise, because now they can have a buffer between when they decide to go, fully wireless or whatnot,
and try to perfect it.
Yeah, they have time to perfect it, but they also have time to like get you used to it, because if they didn't introduce MagSafe when they did, and then they just magically showed up next year without a lightning port, and you basically just have to go out and get your own charger, and then they showed up with MagSafe, there'd be more of a pushback. Whereas it's like you get people used to the MagSafe now. The third-party companies have enough time to make enough accessories, so Apple isn't the only one with it.
Good point.
Accessories will be a big thing. Did you see? There's a bunch of videos though. The magnets on there don't look that strong, like especially on accessories like the wallet. Right?
So with the wallet, it is weak. Like, I don't have the wallet, but I've seen, other people showing in videos when they're like putting it in their pocket and
it just falls off.
Yeah, it falls off. But what's interesting though, and I haven't tested this out, is it seems like the magnet on the iPhone itself is like, it's just enough for it to stick. Whereas if you put the MagSafe case, the Apple MagSafe case, and you use the magnet from the phone, it's like they both work together to make the polarity stronger, or whatever the word is. Because when I stick that MagSafe charger on the case, and the case is on the phone, that thing is on there. I'm like, Jesus.
Oh wow.
So it's probably, those two magnets working together. Whereas if you just go bare naked with the phone, it's just kind of
Yeah, but that's a problem. Like if I'm using that with my wallet, the one thing I don't want to lose or fall off is my wallet. It's pretty important.
Yeah.
I have a huge problem. That's one of the reasons I won't go out and get it, because of things like that.
Yeah. I agree. That's kind of
it's sketchy.
I know they were trying to go for like, cool factor or whatever, but
yeah,
it's got to be practical.
And it will. I think it'll get better over time. They just released it, and I guarantee you we'll get better from third-party companies out there. We'll get better versions of it with a stronger magnet.
Yeah.
So did you catch what phone I was using right now?
You had that the 12 Blue, right?
Well, yeah, the 12 Blue, but as my daily driver, I'm using the Note 20.
Oh, yeah. I remember you were telling me about the Note 20.
I love the Note 20, man. It is a really good phone that I don't think gets any love. And I understand why it doesn't get any love, because of the price. But if you can get it for what I paid for it, it's an amazing phone, honestly, for the price. Well, I paid $450 for it.
Yeah.
So if you can get it for that price, it's fantastic. But pretty much any flagship phone for that price is great.
Yeah, it's just kind of shitty what Samsung did to everybody.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
You come out with $1,000 Note, and then out of nowhere, you come out with the FE.
Yeah. And I love the FE, but the FE is the reason why I wanted to try the Note, because I have the Cloud Red FE here, and I love it. I think it's a great phone, and that's exactly why I wanted to try this phone, because it's a very similar phone in a lot of ways, but in some ways it also doesn't have, like, it has a smaller battery than the FE, doesn't have 120 hertz refresh rate like the FE. But it feels a little more premium because it's got a little more weight to it. It's got the S Pen, so there's some good and some bad with it. But I am enjoying it. Now, if I would have paid $1,000, I wouldn't be saying that.
No, I think you'd be a little upset.
What's going on, Shadow? How are you? Welcome. We're here with Flip the Script Gaming and Trent and Mr. Tech Rant. You can find both of them on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. Just here chilling, man, talking about the new iPhones today. Trent, are you going to get the 12 Pro Max or the Mini?
No.
Sticking with the base model, huh?
So this is the way I look at it with those two phones. The Max is going to be a YouTuber phone. It's going to be a, filmmaker phone. But unless you're doing like all the crazy photography, raw stuff that they introduced, there's no point in getting the Max unless you got money to spend or you're blind and you really can't see. You just prefer to have a really big screen. And then I'm just really afraid of the Mini as far as the battery. Because
yeah, I agree.
That's interesting.
They already talked about how with the okay. But they already talked about how what was it? 5G was killing
the battery life.
It was killing the battery life on the Pro, and it was killing it on the 12, like the 6.1.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, that's already kind of like a decent sized phone. But then you're going to take a phone that's physically smaller than the iPhone SE2.
Yeah. Which already had a terrible battery.
Right. And I'm like, you're going to give that phone a stronger display, OLED display.
Mm-hmm.
You're also going to give it 5G.
Yeah.
Similar battery size.
You saying all that, the battery's going to suck. It's going to be terrible.
Now, to Apple's credit, you do have the ability to turn it off. Like you can go to
you mean turn off 5G?
Yeah, you can turn off 5G and go to LTE or whatever
settings. Yeah.
But even then, I would think on LTE the battery life would still be kind of atrocious.
Well, it's not going to be a very big battery either. I think the battery in the SE, the 2020 SE, was like 3,200. I don't even think it was that. I think it was like a 2,900 milliamp battery in there. So it's not going to be very big at all. And you're right. Just running the OLED display is going to drain the battery.
Yep. And for $700.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that it's small, but to have battery issues like that at $700, no, I take that at $599. Give us a Mini at $599 with all that, but just have just like, look, you're not going to get good battery life, but based off of everything else we're giving you, that's still a good deal. Starting at $699 and you just pay $100. Well, you pay $129 more. You get a better overall phone with the 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 12 is much better. I might throw my SIM in and use it. I really don't want to because of the color, but I might throw it in because I still have to wait a couple weeks before I order the Pro Max, and I do have till November 8th to return this phone. So Preston says, I'm honestly really interested on how the Mini will sell. I'd say at first it probably won't sell as much as the others, but then it'll skyrocket.
So the Mini is not going to, in my opinion, the Mini is not going to sell this year as much as people think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, you'll have sales, but then you'll have returns as well, just due to the fact of it's going to be a battery issue. Mm-hmm. I think at $699, it's going to be, well, I'm not so sure. But next year, when they drop it down to $599 and they come out with the, iPhone 13, people are going to snatch those things up left and right.
Yeah, it'll definitely get snatched up at that price. So speaking of the iPhone SE, first off, Lens of Wisdom says, isn't the iPhone SE 2020 1,800 or 1,900 milliamp? I thought it was 2,900 milliamp. 1,900 seems really small.
No, that's about right.
Is it a 1,900 milliamp battery in there?
It's somewhere around 1900 or 2000. It's really, really small.
Well, that would explain why the battery in that thing sucks. It's terrible. But I got a question for you guys here and for everybody in the chat regarding the iPhone SE, because if Apple wants to keep playing in that mid-range space, the iPhone SE has to change, right? So what do you think will be the next iteration of the iPhone SE? Will it be something like the iPhone XR, but with upgraded internals moving forward? Like next year's version of the iPhone SE, if they even release a model next year? Will that be like an iPhone XR with upgraded internals?
So what I think Apple's going to do, and I think some other people kind of alluded to this as well, I think Apple's going to come out with another, SE, but it'd be like an SE Plus. So you take what you call it? You take like an iPhone 8 Plus, right? And that's your iPhone SE2 Plus, as dumb as that name sounds. And you basically throw an 813 in it, and you sell it to people. Big bezels, fingerprint reader, and all. You sell it for $499. People are gonna buy it.
Yeah, a phone like that would do really well.
Because it's too early for them to take Face ID and make it like an SE type of thing. Now, I don't know if they keep the XR around and they do that, but they're kind of like in a really weird spot.
Yeah, the XR is still available, isn't it, on their site?
Well, that's the interesting part, is that the XR is $499. So technically, they could do one of two things. They could say, "Hey, we're going to give you an iPhone SE 2 Plus. We're going to give you the 813. We're going to give you, 3 gigs of RAM, but you're just going to have basic Touch ID. You're not going to have Face ID. But for those of you who want Face ID, you can still go get a XR. You won't have the newest processor, but you'll have Face ID. You'll have emojis. You'll have the animations.
Great battery life.
Yeah, you'll
XR
have that. You won't have the bezels and stuff. So it's like they'll find a way for you to compromise on both ends.
The XR at $499 is a really good deal.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare that to the $400 for the SE. I would buy that XR before the SE.
Yeah.
I bought the SE and I used it for a week or two, and I just got tired of charging it all the time. I had to bring a charger to work. I would charge it at work halfway through the day. I'd come home. I'd charge it at night. It's terrible.
Yeah, but it's like, it's Apple's, entry into the, the world of Apple. So yeah, a lot of people out there that are,
It was a good play. They sold a lot of the SEs. It was good. It was a good idea.
They're price locked, so they're like, hey, at least it's an iPhone, right?
Yeah, if you want to get into the ecosystem at an entry level, that's the way to do it. I did a whole video about this. I believe that the used market, like I can go out right now and get an iPhone XS all day long for $400, the same price as the iPhone SE. So I would go out and buy a used XS before I bought the iPhone SE.
Yeah.
Lens of Wisdom says he checked on Google and it's an 1821 milliamp battery. That's terrible.
That's Apple.
That is horrible. Preston says, I think the next SE will be more like the iPhone 12 now with the OLED display, but without Face ID, maybe like the new iPad. That's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see an OLED anytime soon on the next version of the SE.
I think with the next version of the SE, like the SE3 will probably be them just recycling the XR.
Yeah, that's what I think they're going to do. I think the XR will be the next version of the SE, absolutely. And I think that's what they should do. Because think about it, the next the rumors for the next version of the SE were not for next year, but the year after that.
Right.
So if that happens, right, 2 years down the line, now this is Apple, so what I'm about to say could be terribly wrong, but in 2 years, we should have a notchless iPhone.
Right.
Right. So if we get that notchless iPhone, then it makes sense that we would get the next SE version with a notch.
Yeah, and they can, reuse the parts and all the phones that they didn't sell, and
Now, what do you think? Because I hate Face ID for whatever reason. Face ID has never worked for me. Whether it's the way I look, I don't know what it is. Face ID, even before the pandemic and before everybody had to wear a mask, Face ID just never worked right for me. So I miss Touch ID.
Mm-hmm. So
I want Touch ID back.
I see. So here's the thing about Face ID, right? Face ID on the iPad is awesome, right? And the reason why it's awesome is because it works in any orientation.
Correct.
Whereas with the iPhone, you have to stare at it in portrait mode, which is stupid. You're sleepy? All right, go lay down.
Yeah, I like the fingerprint idea a lot more.
Oh, be careful.
What'd you say, Lou?
I like the fingerprint ID so much more.
Yeah, me too. I miss it.
I love it. I just,
Even give it to me on the back of the phone, like the pixels. Like put it where the Apple logo is on the back. I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
And get rid of Face ID. Just get rid of it. There's no need for it.
Well, the problem is people are like fucking snobs. Because they're like, oh, why would you put it on the back? I'm like, what's wrong with it?
It's a perfect spot.
Dumb. TJ, come here. I'll be right back.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it's the perfect spot on the back, like the Pixels, the Pixel 4a, the Pixel 5. It all has the fingerprint sensor on the back, and it's exactly where your pointer finger just falls when you grab a phone. It just feels right. Every time you use it, it just feels right. Now, an in-display fingerprint sensor is still good, in my opinion. Right. It's not as fast as the ones on the back of the phones, but it works good enough. And if it's going to give me a notchless iPhone, I'm all for it. All for it.
Yeah, in the stores, because I make my shopping list and I put it on the phone, and I put it on my notepad, and whenever I'm like in CVS or ShopRite or wherever I'm at, I constantly have to pull down the mask a little bit, tuck my head, do that whole thing.
It doesn't work.
No, it's a pain.
Preston says putting in Touch ID with the next SE would be nice, actually. Yeah, it would be. With Touch ID, give me Touch ID on any iPhone would be nice. I'm all for it. I miss Touch ID. I still have a product red iPhone 8 Plus here that I use around the house all the time. I'll never get rid of it. I will always pick it up and use it. I just made a video on it actually a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Trey says, yes, get rid of Face ID. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Face ID, but like Trent said, a lot of people are bougie about it.
Not a fan.
There are a lot of Apple sheep out there that just love it.
I don't get it.
I've never enjoyed it. And it doesn't make any sense in this pandemic world of today, because unless they change it and they give you the ability to, which I understand why they don't do this, but if they gave you the ability to use Face ID with a mask on, it would help. But they don't do it for security reasons, which I understand. But at the same time, it sucks with it, sucks without it.
Right.
Either way, they got to choose a direction. And Face ID just doesn't work in the world of today. And honestly, this lifestyle that we're in right now isn't going to change anytime soon.
No, it's really not. This is we have to be accustomed to it.
So yeah, Face ID, the new iPhone SE, the iPhone 12 we've been talking about. Again, thank you for joining us guys here, just chilling on a Friday night. the blue iPhone 12. I am returning this phone next week because I hate the color. I hate it. I hate it. I don't even like holding it because I hate it. I feel like the blue is going to wash off onto my skin.
Well, you know what? Just are you going to use it for a week or two and then send it back, or are you just going to send it back?
I'm going to send it back.
Okay.
I might use it until Monday or Tuesday, make another video on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll get rid. I have to go back next week because I don't want it around the house. Because the longer I hold on to it,
The longer you're going to end up keeping it.
the less chances there are that I return it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if I do keep it around, I'm going to throw a case on it because I already have a bunch of cases here for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to forget about it. And then I'm going to forget how ugly I think it is. And then I'm going to miss the due date, the return date. And I'm going to keep it.
Yeah. No.
I'm not doing that.
So when's the cutoff date? November 6th or 8th?
November 8th.
Okay. Alrighty.
But I don't even want to keep it around that long.
Right.
It's going to go back. It's going to go back very soon. Next week, it'll go back.
Okay.
And I don't want to take my SIM out of this phone anyway. I'm really enjoying this phone for what it is.
Well, then you know what? Just send that phone back. Use that one. Enjoy it. And then when you get your new one, you can take it from there.
I will be ordering the 12 Pro Max, whether it's graphite or the Pacific Blue. That will be my daily driver. And I am going to have a fire sale on Twitter very soon, selling a bunch of phones.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are looking for an upgrade, there will be a fire sale going on very soon.
Oh, that'll be cool. You got to put them up and post a link.
Oh, they'll be up there.
Nice.
That's one thing I always wonder. Like, how do you go about, doing that on Twitter?
Just selling the phone?
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. That's what I see everybody else doing. A lot of my phones I put on eBay, and they sell very quickly, like within 24 hours. But eBay then takes a cut.
Right.
On Twitter, you just announce to the tech world that you're selling a phone, that you include shipping, you give them a good deal, and it's gone in 24 hours. Not even. It'll be gone halfway through the day.
Oh, okay.
I just bought a new lens from Dobo.
Yeah.
He was selling a Sigma lens for the Sony cameras, and I saw it and I bought it. I hit him up on Twitter. He sold it to me. He included a bunch of Peter McKinnon.
The Polar Pros.
Yeah, the filters.
Yeah.
He gave me like 4 of them in the box.
Yeah, man. Dobo will hook you up.
Yeah, Dobo's cool. But I see people selling it all the time, selling their stuff all the time on Twitter. They just post it, saying the price, and GameSky does it all the time. You see GameSky posting stuff, all this audio stuff that he has.
Mm-hmm.
He's selling stuff every week. You can find a deal.
Nice. Yeah, I got to turn my notifications back on because, like, I got to a point after a while I was getting so many tweets. I was like, I can't do it no more.
Yeah, notifications are tough. I go back and forth with turning them on and off as well. Trent, I meant to ask you when we talked yesterday. We're going to change the topic real quick because in the beginning of the stream tonight, we were talking about football.
Oh, man.
Are you a Cleveland fan?
Yes.
The Browns are doing good this year, right? What you guys are 4-2?
Yeah, and people are acting like, the world's about to end because the Steelers beat the Browns. I'm like, so what?
Yeah, I mean, it's a division game. You know why? Because the Browns are doing good. So a lot of people overhype the game way too much to the point where everybody on ESPN were like, oh, Browns are going to win, Browns are going to win, Browns are going to win. And, yeah, they didn't. But
and you're also talking to Lou here is a Steeler fan.
Hey, so my best friends are Steeler fans.
Yeah, and listen, I like the Browns. Cleveland, past 2 years, 3 years, they've been fighting hard, actually. They've been playing hard football. And it's good to see. Between them and Cincinnati, when you see teams in your division playing good, it makes it hype for a rivalry game in that division,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes them play harder.
And what's interesting about all of this, and I'm probably never going to watch another ESPN take because they're all just trash.
Absolutely, 100%
Is
yes.
no one has it as hard as the Browns got it right now.
That's true.
Because the AFC North is a division of its own.
Mm-hmm.
There is no other division that has the level of competition that we have.
That's true. That is true.
You got Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and
Baltimore.
Baltimore. And
Yeah,
that's 4 deadly teams that you can never count out. Even Cincinnati. Cincinnati can beat you. No matter if they're 0-5, they can still come out and win any game. That division is rough.
Who's the quarterback of Cincinnati? Is that Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to be really good, man.
Yeah. I mean, we have a tough division. It's like like the Giants. How
Shut up.
if they would have won yesterday, that would have made them what 2 and what, and they would have been first place in their division.
There's no need to talk about the Giants, and there's no need to talk about the NFC East because it's all.
but that's
all terrible.
They talk about these teams in NFC East, and I'm like, okay, you're talking about teams that can get into the playoffs with a losing record.
Yeah,
the Browns went 11-5.
Yes,
1 year, and still missed the playoffs.
Right, right. And so, what does that say about the division? What does that say?
Yeah, I'm like, in what world do you go 11-5 and still not make it? Didn't even make it into the wild card.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's undefeated, right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh's undefeated, but I hate those games, man. I hate those division games because it's like it's not like doesn't matter who's not playing well or not. You can lose to any team in that division. You can lose to anybody.
So I got a question for you, Trenton.
Yeah.
I'm a Giants fan, and since now you guys have him, what do you think of Odell?
Odell has actually matured a lot, because I know that one thing that people always talk about is his maturity, and he's a diva, and I'm like, that dude hasn't really had a blow up, and since he came from the Giants, he's actually been quite pedestrian,
Right.
And the issue is like we've hit the restart button so many times that we haven't really gotten a chance to get Odell set in the system and Baker set in the system. So we're not getting those super highlight magical plays that everybody wants to see.
This is your coach. This is his first year?
Yeah, first year.
Yeah, they keep changing systems. That's not going to help anybody.
No. It's like when Steelers had Hines Ward, they only used him for one thing: outs. And then they started incorporating him into routes and slants and posts, and like his yards went up like 50 yards per game. Like they found out how to use him correctly. And Odell is a beast, and his character has improved in the last 2 or 3 years.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of Pittsburgh, Lou. I got to be honest with you.
I mean, if I was a Giants fan, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Ben's got to go.
No,
this is Ben's last year.
Don't talk about Ben, man.
This is Ben's last year, bro.
Ben is, listen. That's the only man that could break 3 ribs and break his hip in a motorcycle accident, come out a week and a half later and tear up the field.
Yeah, and rape a girl.
Listen, that's all hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all hearsay. That didn't happen. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
My only issue with the Steelers is since they have like a legacy, they get a lot of benefit of the doubt call.
Yes. Yeah, they do.
So, like, if I'm on the Browns and I just chuck the ball up, right, against, somebody that's one-on-one and they're
Uh-huh.
throwing hands, no flag comes out. They're just, they're both going for the ball. But if Ben chucks up a ball anywhere in the secondary and
he's getting the call.
God forbid the receiver doesn't catch it, oh, man, he was like, no, don't bail him out like that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Now.
He's definitely getting that call.
Yeah, that's because Ben's a beast. And that's what happens. When you got a beast quarterback like Ben, you can't. You got to give him a call. You're like, Ben, you're a beast. You deserve it.
Does he?
Yes, he does. Absolutely.
He needs to show improve still today. What he did in the past shouldn't matter.
Well, he's always showing improvement every year.
He's
like
Daniel Jones. It doesn't matter.
Listen, I backed up every Steelers quarterback from Cordell Stewart to all the way Ben. Listen, I was a huge Cordell fan. Shouldn't have been, but I was a huge Cordell fan. I'll back up my quarterbacks any time of the day.
Speaking of quarterbacks, what do you think of Baker Mayfield?
So this is kind of hard for me because I see both sides. I see where people are like, oh, well, he should be doing this, he should be doing that. He was the number 1 overall pick. And I get that. As the number 1 overall pick, you got more to prove and more to show out than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, because I got into a lively debate with someone and they were like, Baker's trash, they should get rid of him. I'm like, all right, you go to a job, right? You go to a job where everybody already sucks, essentially. They throw some people around you that are brand new, and then you got to, figure it out. It doesn't work. Then they fire you and they send you to another job, essentially having another coach, having another system. Mm-hmm. And then you do that again. And then now in your 3rd year, you're doing that again with your 4th coach. Like, you never really got a chance to set your feet. You never got a chance to develop plays that you run over and over. You never got a chance to learn timing with your receivers and whatnot, because one year you had an offensive line that literally just lets you get hit at will.
Right.
Then the next year, your line got better, but your receivers didn't get open, so you had nowhere to really throw, and your coach wasn't any better than a high school coach, and he never let you call audibles at the line, which is, stupid. Like, you got to call audible at some point. Now in this year, you're actually doing well. The running is working and whatnot, but I don't think Baker should have even played because of how much, that hit that he took last week and all the wincing and stuff that he had going on. It's just like, yeah, I know you're trying to be tough, but don't play. So I'm in a very mixed spot because Baker is the best quarterback that we've had in the past 20 years.
Right. It's true.
Yeah.
He's not perfect. He won't be perfect, but everybody compares him to Breeze, and I'm like, no, Breeze got let go by the Chargers in his 3rd or 4th year.
Right. Yeah. And Miami didn't even draft Breeze because they were worried about his arm strength. I think Baker is in the right spot. I think this coach is going to stay around for a little while, and I think he'll do pretty well. I think the Browns will be in and out of the playoffs for the next at least 5 to 8 years. Easy.
Yeah, because what the Browns needed to do this year, the only thing they needed to do was do better than last year. The Browns actually don't even need to make the playoffs. They just need to have a positive record, and the fans would be totally happy with that, even if for whatever reason we didn't make it into the playoffs. And then next year, you learn a little bit more. You fix that horrific secondary that that can't stop anyone's pass attack. you fix that, and then, maybe you beat the Steelers or maybe you beat the Ravens, but, you get into the playoffs, but you at least develop a culture of winning. Everyone wants, the media, they want the Browns to go to the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I don't know what world you're living in, but Cleveland is not the place where you suck one year and then you're in the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, you're right about that. Because they're not gonna score a lot of free agents. Like big name free agents just aren't going to Cleveland.
But here's the thing. If you develop a system where you win and your good players don't leave and your quarterback gets better and your defense gets better, then people are going to want to come.
Yeah.
When you constantly have people like Stephen A. Smith, who's like, Odell, get out of Cleveland. What sense does that make?
It doesn't. He's all about ratings. That's all he's about. Like these ESPN, they're not even analysts anymore. They're just rating getters. Like it's sickening. Like I won't even watch or listen to ESPN anymore. I won't.
It's so hard to watch.
It is. It's it's like it's all about news, television shows, and who can get the most ratings for that television show. It's like everybody gave up on their real analysis, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like I want to know what Cleveland did to the rest of the world to where like national news, they just hate us. Like anything that you name with the word Cleveland, they're like, get out of Cleveland, stay away from Cleveland. Cleveland's a joke, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. Oh, the Cleveland Indians, they got so-and-so. Nah, he needs to go to New York. He needs to... Why?
Yeah.
What did we do?
Yeah, no. Oh, man, it's like that movie Major League with Charlie Sheen.
It's a great movie, man.
It is, but they shit on Cleveland so bad in that movie.
Cleveland does get a bad rap all around.
They do. They really do.
Sports, except for when LeBron was over there.
Yeah.
And what's sad, this is what's sad. There are so many teams and there are so many cities that are worse than us.
Yeah.
That they're just like, we're not even gonna waste our time with this.
My teams are worse than yours. And I'm in Jersey. I support all New York teams. And New York teams have been trash. And I hate the Yankees, so I'm not a Yankee fan. But I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Giants fan. And they've been far worse than Cleveland sports for a very long time. Even when the Giants won the Super Bowl, they were 9-7. They weren't like running roughshod through the league and dominating everybody. They barely made it into the playoffs. They barely beat anyone. They've never been good. They suck. I hate it. I hate it. So stressful.
But I love Steeler fans. I hate Baltimore fans.
Yeah, Baltimore fans are they're nasty. They're nasty. I like those Philly fans.
Philly fans are the worst. Philadelphia Philly fans are the worst.
Philly fans are harsh, boy.
Yeah, Eagle fans are actually worse. Eagle fans, I had beer thrown on me at the Eagles game. I had my Giants jersey on.
Did you?
And when I was walking out of the stadium, there was a family in front of me with little kids. And I mean little kids. Like these kids must have been 3, 4, 5 years old. And these people were getting harassed and I mean like not just harassed, like, oh, your team sucks. Like, no, cursing and threatening them. And like, they're walking with their children.
They have like a courthouse underneath the stadium or like in the stadium.
In the stadium too.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy.
But we've been streaming now for an hour and 30 minutes. We're going to wind down here. Talked iPhone 12. We talked Note 20. iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro are out. If you guys are looking to upgrade your phone, go check them out. If you're on a tighter budget, the iPhone 11 is still a great option. Lou from Flip the Script Gaming, Trenton here, Mr. Tech Rant. You can find both of them on YouTube, on social media, on Twitter, Digital Slang. Check out my other channel. You can find us all over there on YouTube. But we are going to wind down. Lou from Flip the Script and Trenton from he is Mr. Tech Rant. Thank you for joining the stream tonight.
Not a problem, man. Thank you for having me. Another week. It's been fun.
Trenton,
thanks for having me.
Yeah. And that's it, guys. I hope everybody has a good and safe weekend. We'll be back next week, 9, 10 o'clock. We changed the time up a little bit this week. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll talk about it during the week and see what happens next Friday. But next Friday night, SlangCast, around 9, around 10, maybe even 11 next week. I don't know. We're just gonna
Let's push it. Yeah, every week. How about we just push it an hour later and just see what happens?
Last week we streamed at midnight, and it was a fantastic stream.
Woo. It was 4-hour show.
And 4 hours, but everybody came through. It was nice. It was fun.
Man, you guys were on it.
That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. If you're on audio only, have a great weekend.